First caller today is Cori, calling from Michigan, I believe. Cori, welcome to Stay Paid. How can we help you?
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for having me. So I'm in my fourth year as a realtor, and I've been kind of slowly growing, building a good foundation because I've been working part-time, working also at my brokerage with some marketing and things like that. And I can't keep up. I need to go full time because I'm naturally growing, which is great. So my husband decided to join me. So he just got licensed this summer. And
Nice.
I feel like I have shiny thing syndrome where I'm like, okay, there's all these things we need to do to grow because now we're putting all of our eggs in one real estate basket to support our family. And I'm like, where do I need to focus first to grow the quickest? So I think that's kind of just in general, my question is, I want this to take off. I see the potential for it too. And there's just so many things that you need to do. And I'm just feeling scattered and overwhelmed.
Thank you for sharing. Are you ready? You're going to have to get a counselor for you and your husband. Family business, I'm telling you right now. We know it all too well here. Reminder Media is actually a family business too, but Acree Brothers, of course. I mean, it's family business, so it adds a different dynamic. So good luck on that journey. I will give you a sub-point tip on that: is make sure you have defined roles and who you are. Obviously, you are, the same type of person authentically, but your role, we made Stephen the CEO of Acree Brothers, all the investments, all that stuff, because if not, then I'm going to try to act like the CEO there versus like me in Reminder Media, me running Reminder Media. So it's just very important to define what are the roles, what are the expectations of each role, what do you expect out of your husband, what does he expect out of you in the work environment. That will help. But that's a sub, point. Here is, I guess, let me ask you this. How much volume have you done in, this year? Like, what's your transaction count volume wise? It gives us an idea of the size of your business.
Yeah, sure.
And then we can give you the right advice based upon that.
Yeah. So this year so far, I've had 17 transactions, and I'm just shy of 3 million in sales. I'm 2.999400.
Awesome. Well done. So is the majority of that from your sphere? The majority of that business, or where is it coming from?
Yes, a lot of it. Some of it's been my sphere. This year's been the first year we, my husband has business experience. So he's like, well, let's pay for some leads. So this was the first year we paid for some leads. Okay. So I would say probably maybe 30% of those are paid leads, but the rest is from my sphere and my own marketing.
Love it. And then two follow-up questions on that, which will help me, determine what you should be doing. On your paid side, where are you getting the leads from for paid? Like, where are those coming from?
Zillow.
No, that's great. Yeah, you say it like it's a dirty word. Yeah, bleep that out. Zillow. No.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not a Flex team. It's just a Zillow. You're not on Flex, so you're just a Zillow leads coming in. You're just getting Zillow leads.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your sphere. How big is your database?
It's probably something I need to work on. I know CRM is right up there because I haven't really found one that I love.
You're answering your own questions, Cori. I love it. That's the beautiful thing about coaching. You can get people to answer their own questions.
Now, I did hit a goal with my magazines, though, that I won't do any more without at least 100 recipients. So I did expand that because I started with just the minimum.
Yep.
And have been growing that as I grow more people.
The amount of times I hear the CRM, I haven't found one I love yet. Is the truth is the best one is the one you use. It's just so true. You just got to dig in.
The one you can,
we switch it. I'm switching an agent, actually a $1 million producer. Incredible. But she's like, I use dot loop and I only can use dot loop. And I'm like,
and she's doing $1 million in GCI. I have you like $1 million in,
and
not just $1 million in
that's
volume.
right. And it's so funny because I'm just like, I loved dot loop too. We switched over to DocuSign and I haven't even batted an eye. It's just the first onboarding of that is tough. You just got to use it. And same with CRMs. You just got to learn how to use it.
So you're doing great. One, congrats, right? 17 deals, 4 years in, you really are doing fantastic. Your husband's coming on board. You really, you kind of know the answer, but let me spell out for you what we would do. Cause that's the only way I can answer it is in the trenches. right now you're in the salesperson phase. You are the talent. And it's by your hustle and by your talent, right, that
Yeah.
you are producing. You've got to start traversing to where you go from just being the salesperson to trying to get to being the business owner. That's ultimately where the road you're on. And in order to be the business owner, you've got to start replicating and figuring out from a process standpoint what is working and what's not working. So that starts with like your sphere. I can't tell because I don't know how big it is, but that's action item number one. You must get your database into a CRM that you use. On average, 7% of your database will transact a year. So your goal is, hey, can I get that database up? Because that's just in that database, let alone the average person knows 3 to 5 other people that are going to transact. So that's referrals. So if I'm you, I would go, you and your husband should immediately systematize what's our CRM? How do we get our database? How do we get a cadence? Thank you for using the magazine. Hey, your magazine's going out either quarterly or bi-monthly. You have a drip going out. But that is going to be at least 50% of your business should be coming from referral and repeat business. So 50% is a good target mark. You're paying for leads. Fantastic, right? You're paying from Zillow. Zillow tends to be expensive. It just depends what zone you're in, but they do tend to have way better conversion. So I don't think it's a bad thing that you're doing Zillow at all. I think it's actually a good thing, but you need to make sure you're tracking your conversion. Do you know what you're converting? What your cost of lead is, cost of acquisition to your actual income that you're making. If that is a 4-to-1 ratio at least, then keep doubling down on that spend. There's nothing wrong with that as you grow your database, because you want to see your database grow. So 50% of your deals are coming from referral repeat business. You double down your spend in Zillow. The problem with Zillow is it's expensive and it's very much in the moment. It's not brand building. So you should consider adding a third pillar, which would be a majority of people would coach you to go to a geographic farm and start building a farm out. So maybe there's a couple communities. Where are you located, Cori?
I'm in Jackson, Michigan.
Jackson, Michigan. Okay.
Mhm.
So, there's probably a couple communities there that you've already identified that you would love to be the number one agent in those communities.
Yep.
If I'm you, I would identify those communities, look at turnover rate by going to your MLS, and turnover rate is simply how many homes sold in the past year in this area. And then try to go to Google or USPS website can sometimes give this to you and say how many rooftops are in this area and divide the number of sales by the number of homes. And that will give you turnover rate. And historically, people say you should try to farm to areas that have a 6% turnover rate or greater. And the area better than the gurus. So the main thing I just want to make sure you do is you look and don't farm an area where homes don't sell. Farm an area where actually transactions are happening. Also in the MLS, make sure you look, if you're going to do a geographic farm, make sure you look and go, who owns this area? Right. So you think of Stephen, like Tina, right? In your area, she owns a neighborhood, right? She does majority of her deals. Farmington. So you'll probably see on the MLS in Lynchburg area that Tina and her team, their name shows up on all these transactions in Farmington. That's your indicator that, there's competition in this farm. Doesn't mean you can't beat them, but it tells you you're going to have to spend more. You're going to have to get out there with the sweat equity. So here, if I step back for a second, I would go, from a lead generation standpoint, you're doing good. You need to get into systems, processes, and measurement. So that's your next phase of the business, especially because you're bringing in your husband and now all your eggs are in one basket. You've got to know what's working, what's not. First step, CRM, how many people are in your database? Try to see how many of your deals come from referrals. Second step, Zillow, track conversion, track cost of acquisition, which is how much did I spend to get this deal to the table versus how much I made. And then if that's a 4-to-1, double down on it. Third step, take the overflow of money that you have, if any, to start a geographic farm. Yeah. I see the face. I don't have any overflow. Well, you have sweat equity, so you could potentially do a geographic farm through circle prospecting. If you listen to our podcast, we did an episode a while back on circle prospecting. We've closed 26 deals this year at Acree Brothers from circle prospecting, which is just purely calling around a neighborhood like our farm or around our open houses and essentially seeing if the people are interested in hearing a cash offer on their home. And that then tells us if they're interested in selling or not. And we have a whole episode people can go reference on that. So overall theme is you're doing amazing, but you got to start systematizing what you're doing so you can speak with confidence to your numbers, because confidence gives you the ability to execute. Confidence comes from clarity. Clarity comes from tracking and knowing your numbers. So pick a CRM. We use Follow Up Boss. Any of them could do. Sierra Interactive's great. I've heard good things about Bold Trail. Follow Up Boss is fantastic. Use the one your brokerage gives you for free. Commit to it and start tracking that. That's my answer. Stephen, Josh, would you add anything?
No, I mean, honestly, that was perfect. The only things I would add is like Zillow, your cost of acquisition from the beginning is a lot of money. But if you can be career focused instead of, year focused, those people are going to turn into repeat referral business later on. And so everything has to be focused around that CRM. If you want to go back to there where you go, you've been in the business 4 years, imagine what 4 more years will be. And these Zillow leads are turning into double transactions. And so don't ever lose focus. A lot of people lose focus when they're paying for leads. They don't become clients. They don't become actual repeat and referral business. They treat them as a one and done. And then you can imagine, you're paying a lot. At one point we were paying $18,000 a month for Zillow. And, but a lot of those turned into transactions now 5 years down the road. And so my cost up front was a lot, but we focused on repeat and referral, and those are turning into more money in the end. So I think that'd be what I'd add. And then the second thing is make sure you're compounding all your efforts. So if you're doing the geographic farm and you're getting listings in a neighborhood, well, if you're trying to own a neighborhood, you got to make sure you get the listing, and then you do the open house for the listing, and then you do the door knocking, for the listing, because everything's about doing one activity to get multiple different avenues of money flow. And so I would add that as well, Luke.
Yeah, that's a great thought. It's like the same can be applied to your sphere. Is like, make sure you're really leveraging that sphere. So you first get the database, then you're marketing to that database, but then you can go, well, who else is in my sphere? Oh, all my partners, like all the local partners that I have, title, inspection, insurance, financial advisors, the estate planning attorneys. Like, how do I get them into my sphere? And then how do I do a client event? And then make those businesses part of my client event for my sphere. And we have a bunch of podcasts kind of on these different topics. But ultimately for you, it's you're going to feel overwhelmed, like we all do. And the only sanity there, that will never go away in the sense of that the feeling of like, oh, am I doing enough? Am I not? Well, at least it has never gone away for me, right? It's not going to go away. But what will be your stabilizer is your clarity of your data. And where most agents fail, both on the money side from budgeting and from on the operation sides of lead generation and lead conversion, is they don't keep track of their numbers. They don't know their database, how big it is. They don't know how often they're touching it. They don't know how many referrals came from what people. And that's the mundane work that us salespeople who are so talented are bad at. Because we like to talk to people. We like to help people. We don't want to sit there and crunch numbers. But in a world of AI, Cori, there's no excuse.
There's no balance in this career. There's clarity. And that's such a good distinguisher, because like if you do have the clarity, when you have the emotions of the up and down in this business, it won't knock you out because you have clarity on what you're trying to accomplish. So yeah, get that clarity. Exactly.
And every day you need to put it into your everyday activities. This data entry, this budgeting, these type of things, because I have just found if it doesn't happen like every day, like the balancing of the checkbook, right? The balancing of the accounts, it won't happen. And then you'll come back a week later and you'll go, what was that? What was that? Where did that come from? That is what will happen. And so it's like, nobody wants to function in practicality because we all think there's some business magic that's out there. It's like, no. The people who win are the ones who they just kind of go, well, that needs to be done. I'm going to do it every day. And they just, whether it's dialing the phone to their leads every day or balancing their account every day, just add it to your calendar, live by your calendar, and you will succeed. Yeah. And get a good therapist for you and your husband. Good luck on that.
We've had a lot of interesting life experiences, and we're excited to work together. We've done counseling before, but yeah, it's all, one of the things that he's been saying as we've been starting to work together, which I think speaks to what you just said, is he's like, you need to work proactively instead of reactively.
Yes.
Because I can tend to, oh, this person needs this. Oh, I've got to take this phone call. And then by the end of the day, I'm too tired. I don't want to look at numbers because I'm a creative people person, but he's good at numbers and he's good at systems. So I think this is going to be a good.
That's going to be a great marriage. Maybe you guys should get together and, get married.
Yeah.
No, it is great. And the best part about family business in my mind is it's, you don't have to worry about trying to inspire somebody to the why, because everybody's just bought in from day one because they get the why, right? I mean, this is the family, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to support and grow something. So I love that. Congrats on all that you've done. Thank you also for calling in and listening to the show. I mean, it really is. You're doing all the right things and generating business. You just now need to track it, systematize it, replicate it. Track it, systematize it, replicate it. That's it. That is not sexy. That is just brick by brick. And if you get stuck, you don't even have to go hire a coach now. You can go to ChatGPT and say, take on the expert role of a real estate coach. You're incredible at operations. This is my pain point and what I'm struggling with. Please ask me 5 questions that would help you clarify what's going on, and then give me advice of what I should do. And you literally have a coach right there in your pocket that can help you systematize these things. Yep.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Cori. Appreciate you calling in. Let's connect on social. I appreciate
that'd be great. I'm a little crazy on there.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it. Have a great one.
Thanks, you too. Thank you.